it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes, where we look at the forecast in the stars and numbers. In this case, the absolutely gorgeous Pisces full moon. This is a really transcendent experience of illumination, and it happens on an incredible date, September 21st, 2021. We're in the 21st century, and that sets up a triple 21 code in the 9th month of the year, which is such an important month. So Pisces, of course, is the final sign. 9 is the final single digit for September. And so we are going to celebrate a release of sorts, a time of letting go, endings to make room for amazing new blessings. Pisces governs galactic consciousness, unconditional love. We are all one energy, and also what is hidden, what is secret, what is behind the scenes, what is unconscious. And 21 for September 21, 2021 is the number of truth and joy. So every time we reach 21 in the last 4 months of the year, we are celebrating our 21st century and what it actually means. Now this forecast, yes, it's the Pisces full moon with the moon in Pisces and the sun in Virgo, but it is for everyone. You have Pisces and Virgo in your natal birth chart. So this is happening in actually 2 locations in your chart, 2 houses, 2 signs. And so it impacts you whether you are a Pisces or Virgo or not. Pisces is a really intuitive sign, the sign of the imagination. And it has no boundaries. It is water. It is actually a water sign and is ruled by Neptune. And that means there's no boundaries for your creative imagination. There are no boundaries in general. You would just feel limitless. So it governs unconditional love, love of everyone and everything. And it governs exploring the unseen, the unknown, other dimensions, and connecting directly to source. So inspiration. And it's very much a sign of trust. Meaning, if there's something you can't change, it's important to surrender to that truth and surrender to love, to just accept what is so. So Pisces feels the big picture, and then we have the sun in Virgo, and Virgo is the detail sign, wanting to make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, everything in its place, very much taking control of a situation. And both signs contribute equally to the truth. It's almost like the left brain and the right brain working together to make this beautiful synchronistic alchemy. So Virgo likes to control, and then Pisces likes to have the big vision. So it's the practical and the imagination. And Pisces is asking, the moon in Pisces is asking, are you in total resonance with whatever situation you're in, with this person, with whatever, does the energy resonate? So Pisces is asking, are you in resonance with this situation, whatever the situation is, or with this person? Does the energy resonate with your heart? Now, resonance is part of sound as well, sonic. And Pisces is very musical. It seeks harmony above all else, where there is stillness, where there is beauty, where there's love and calmness. And so Pisces is literally about peaceful living. And so if you imagine the stream of consciousness that Pisces represents, symbolizing floating on this beautiful river, gorgeous scenes on both sides, dramatic, then peaceful, and you are surrendering to the story, you're surrendering to the current. You're never resisting where the current is taking you. And you're just making sure that you are upright, that the boat or sail or whatever you're using symbolically is in good stead and can allow you to flow with ease and grace. And so if you don't resist that current, you are not resisting what's natural, what is true, and you're trusting that all is good, right? So that's a really big key theme. So notice that the word current in English means two things, and they're actually connected. It means current, like here and now, present moment awareness, and it also represents a current of water, of electricity, of light. So being present means being in the flow. Being current means going with the current. It's something that when you really look closely at some words, you can see the magic and the true depth of language, which is also a resonance in itself. Now, in order to access this kind of connection in your own life through any kind of sensory experience that you're having, you need to go inside for answers. You need to also ask your guides and be in touch through going inside for them to support you, to protect you, and to guide you for anything that you ask for. There's so much there for you to just benefit from, because it is basically set up for you to have this contact with the unseen, which Pisces represents. Pisces is the final sign, so it represents the bridging of the realities of the unseen and the seen, of life and death. So if you have the patience and you have the quietude to listen, this is an incredible moment of the year, especially because this Pisces full moon literally happens a couple days before the equinox, which is on the 23rd of September. This full moon is on the 21st, universal time, and on the 20th, late in the day in the Americas. But in any case, the equinox is about bringing balance. It's when night and day are equal. And there's a sense of really beautiful balance in this particular full moon. The sun in Virgo is about health and healing, the healthy habits, making some changes where necessary. And so we have this gorgeous opportunity for rebalancing our health and bringing healing into everything we do. So the shadow side of Pisces is associated with addiction, with drugs, with dis-ease or disease. It's illusion, it's deception, clouding up. Neptune rules Pisces, so bringing in a veil so you can't see the truth clearly. And so we have to be very vigilant to really tune into our intuition, to inspiration, to love, to tune into truth in a way that dissolves any kind of voice in your head that is telling you otherwise, right? Old paradigms, old beliefs coming in and co-opting that precious present moment. So in order to know what to dissolve, because Pisces dissolves, what to dismantle, we must first be aware of the energy that created it in the first place and for what purpose it was created. And so one thing to notice is the tactics or people that cause separation or disharmony bring this disconnection, right? They distance us from what feels good. It creates a chasm. And so you want to pay attention to the tactics that bring us together, that contribute through caring, through compassion, through love. And Pisces helps us acknowledge that energy, the energy that is sourced from light, from unconditional love. Pisces is a really dreamy sign. It's very idealistic. And during the full moon where the sun is in Virgo, that idealism is brought into balance because the sun, it's not a new moon in Pisces where they're both in Pisces, sun and moon, but the sun is in Virgo opposite the moon. So there is a beautiful balance here. And so it is important for you physically in a practical way through Virgo to stay in balance by drinking more water, which Pisces, being a water sign, wants you to stay extra hydrated, to be near water if you can, to let the tears flow whether they're sad, happy, or just tears that appear. It's just a lovely way, water that is, showering, waterfalls, lakes, streams, ocean, whatever the case may be. I mean, showers are amazing for inspiration, as I'm sure you have experienced. So that is important. That's one of the practical things, is to have that flow, literal sound of water. Now, this Pisces full moon time is going to be a moment, a period when what was hidden is going to be seen. And that's because Mercury is creating this incredible trine to Jupiter, and Mercury rules Virgo. And the trine to Jupiter is going to expand our vision. It's going to help us really see beyond the horizon, see beyond what is being presented to you. So having the optimism and the foresight and the wisdom to go to the goodness of whatever it is you are experiencing. So there's a progressive open-mindedness that really bodes well for business, negotiations, signing contracts, anything that has to do with organizing to create a common good for everyone. Now we're going to go more into this amazing trine, which is exact during this full moon, and very, very important, as I said, because Mercury rules Virgo and the sun will be in Virgo. So let's go first a little bit more into the number 21, because the truth is so important. When you hear truth, you know it is so because it makes you feel at ease. It takes a weight off you. It results in peace. It doesn't result in suffering. So the truth literally feels like it sets you free. It will free you up to relax. It will create a place of calmness and peace, which is the way life naturally is. Now, the shadow side of this feeling at peace is seeing the opposite, being in an illusion. And when life is full of half-truths, so there's truth mixed with lies, meaning not necessarily to your knowledge, but it is presented that way. So you always tune into how it makes you feel, right? That's the point here. The intuitive side of you, how does that make me feel? So if you feel unrest, inner conflict, dis-ease, a lack of peace, if you're feeling any of these, you are believing something that is not divine. It is the voice in your head, or it is coming from someone else, either with an agenda or a belief system that is not attuned, right? So you can't be conflicted or feel in conflict if you're not listening to these lies. You can't feel that way, because the truth only results in peace, in love, in a feeling of complete contentment, and in gratitude. You're so grateful, you're appreciative of life when you hear what actually resonates with good. So the truth is that life is good. And Pisces is then asking you Pisces, the water sign, is asking you not to think so much. And fortunately, Virgo, where the sun is, has its ruler Mercury trine Jupiter, and that is really helping tune into wisdom as opposed to chatter. So notice the experience you have when you stop thinking, when you stop paying attention to that thought stream, the thoughts running around in your head, and see how you feel. And that is a clue. That's your evidence, because if you stop believing that incessant voice, you have nothing left actually to believe. There's nothing left. The divine flow never asks you to believe anything. It just asks you to live, right? So the whole point is we empty the mind in order to live. We don't turn to the mind in order to get directions. So what's left then is just life. And the experience of life is nothing like that stuff that the thought stream in your head says it is. Life is a great blessing. You have two roads, just like the two fish that make up the symbol that represents Pisces. There's two ways to go here. One is the experience of peace, which comes free from beliefs, and the other is shaped by beliefs that take you away from being present, because the beliefs are the past. So if you live a life that's shaped by your beliefs, you're living a life based on the past. You are not in the present. You're not in the current. You're not current, and you're not with the current, because there's no such thing as a present belief. There just is a way of perceiving and interpreting what is going on with you. But interpretation and perception have nothing to do with belief. So until we become courageous enough to question beliefs, which can be challenging because often beliefs are a shared experience that are created within a society or a group. And until people question those, they will remain believers in that reality. So it takes tremendous courage to do this, because so many are creating that same reality, and that means going against the grain. And we've always had people who have been willing to do this, who are known. Some are very well known, some are unknown. And these people are mystical, they're the philosophers, they're the rebels, they're the free thinkers, and they create the new paradigm. So we're in an age now, the new age of Aquarius. It's being born now, and we're attracting many free thinkers because that's what Aquarius represents. So we are breaking new ground, and this Pisces full moon is helping us to do so because it is so connected to being in the flow. Now, let's go back to that gorgeous trine between Mercury and Jupiter. It is so important because it's happening exactly during the full moon, and it's at 23 degrees, which 23 is the strongest number in numerology. It is the royal star of the lion number. So it represents literally confidence, the confidence that we need to break free from those old beliefs, those old paradigms. So this is a courageous opening that's being created in the numbers and the stars. And so why is it so cool this year? Because Mercury is going to be stationing retrograde on September 28th, and it's going to go over the same 23 degrees a couple more times. So it literally will be in some kind of a trine, which is a super harmonious aspect in astrology, the 120 degree trine. It's going to be in some kind of a trine to Jupiter through early November. And usually it's just a few days because Mercury moves so fast. But because of this retrograde in Libra, which is where Mercury is, we have this amazing opportunity. And this is super awesome news. By the way, Jupiter's in Aquarius at 23 degrees, Mercury in Libra at 23 degrees. This is really great news because Mercury, the messenger, brings balance through Libra, and Jupiter in Aquarius brings courageous, positive breakthroughs. So it literally going through every kind of awakening that you can imagine all at once. So we're accelerating in every part of human existence. And that's because it's time to awaken to the truth about who we truly are and to see how we, again, Virgo's representing the control, how we can control the problems and conflicts, because they're not created by others, they're created by each of us. So Pisces is coming along on September 21, 2021 to help us take responsibility for our inner state and what we reap from our inner state. And that means taking responsibility in a way that doesn't mean blaming yourself for anything, but taking responsibility meaning that you create an experience of your life by what you are telling yourself about your life. So if you don't like the experience, then change what you're perceiving, what you're telling yourself about it, the story that you're weaving about it. Tell a truer, more complete story, and then you'll feel at peace. The Pisces full moon is helping us to bring more peace into our personal lives, and the Virgo sun opposite, it's part of the Pisces full moon. The Virgo sun is pointing out that we are in control of our happiness much more than we realize. we're not in control of other things, but we're certainly in control of how we adapt to the flow of life, whether we resist that current or whether we're with the current, right? So we're in full control of our attitude. So find a point of reference with every experience that you have, especially if it creates conflict or suffering, that brings you peace. Whatever reframe you create that changes your attitude to a place that brings peace is the truth, or it's very close to the truth. And you'll know it by how it makes you feel. That is always the key. Pisces, how you feel. So it's not to make up something that's untrue. It's not to make up something that is deluding you, but a more complete story. So just like the mystics and free thinkers question beliefs, so they see more complete a storyline because they're going beyond what is being presented. So it's better than whatever stressful or negative story that you're telling yourself. And if you're unhappy because you believe you'll never be happy, for example, it's impossible for anyone to never experience happiness. So find something, find that special experience that allows you to relax and be happy right now. Notice what you have. Don't notice what you don't have. Practice gratitude. Give up beliefs that cause conflict, right? Inner and outer conflict. And only you can do this. Nobody can do this for you. So you have to stop telling yourself things or potential outcomes that make you unhappy or make you worried or stressed out or cause you to do things to other people that, make them unhappy. So you need to say no to whatever your mind is saying and say that's no longer my truth. To say life is good, life is precious, life is here for my growth, for my enjoyment. Life cannot be thought into existence. It can only be. Life just is beautiful, and we're here to discover this. So free yourself from that prison of thinking through things, adhering to old belief systems, and find that peace, that surrender. And the only way to do that is to say no to your mind's resistance to life and discover that resistance to this beautiful life is all that's ever been in the way of having that beautiful life. It's the resistance, right? It's the making up of blocks that prevent you from just being, from trusting, from surrendering. So this is really the theme of the Pisces full moon, to surrender, to flow, to be in that beautiful current of life. And you also have access to an incredible code of yours that literally came into being when you were born. And it is called your star code. And I've created a free masterclass for you where you can discover what your star code means. You only need your birthday and your birth certificate name. And if you have your birth time and birthplace, that's great too. We're also going into the astrology in this free masterclass. So go enjoy that amazing spiritual discovery during this Pisces full moon time at starcodeclass.com. And I wish you an absolutely wonderful Pisces full moon. Lots of love. Bye-bye for now.